Welcome to the podcast. I'm John.
Jen.
Danny.
And Kristen.
And this is Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. Hello and welcome to the culmination of season 1. We are finally on Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and I could not be more excited. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm so thrilled that we're actually doing this. Season 1 crew is finally back, and generally we kind of save this intro for like a little fun bit before we do this intro, and then we actually have the podcast after. But this podcast was a bit of an amalgamation of things because we did a first chapter live listen to on our YouTube channel, which is at First Time Readers. So a lot of this discussion is literally just as soon as Dan, Jenny, and Kristen finish chapter 1 of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. We're not going to do every single chapter as a live read because I really do like when we can kind of sit and simmer with an issue or simmer with a chapter or a few chapters and then talk about that rather than just get immediate reactions. But this chapter just felt like an appropriate one to just kick us off with a live read. So that's why you're hearing me first initially rather than the typical format of the podcast. But we have about an hour and a half of just great Harry Potter content. For the first 10 minutes of the podcast, we're talking about Jen and Danny's wedding, which is really fun. It was such a great wedding. We had such a good time. So if you want to skip the wedding stuff, you can just skip about 10 minutes where we start talking about Harry Potter stuff. But Harry Potter stuff is always intermingled with things. And Jen and Danny talk about some of their Harry Potter Easter eggs that they had on their wedding, which is really fun. We're happy that they're married. This podcast literally documented their whole journey of falling in love, which is just lovely. I love that so much. So if you want, go give us a rating and review. Not if you want, please just stop what you're doing right now and go give us a rating and review for this podcast. That would do so much incredible work. For some reason, this podcast keeps getting strikes for copyright, which is not going against any kind of copyright, and I'm furious about. And I'm trying to work through all those, but sometimes YouTube and Spotify are burying our content because we have a strike or a copyright infringement issue that I'm dealing with, and none of those are legitimate because everything is under fair use and we're just discussing these books and not really reading them. So a review would go the world and back because if our stuff's kind of getting buried, like a good review would just be huge. So go check us out on there. Go subscribe to us on YouTube where we do all the live reads and we have all the live discussions and everything like that. That is at First Time Readers on our YouTube channel. We have an Instagram and a Twitter. You can find those. Everything's on our website as well, which is firsttimereaders.com. If you want to email us, it's firsttimereaders@gmail.com. If you want to send us some snail mail, which we would love, it is P.O. Box 474, Hawthorne, New Jersey, 07507. And if you want to support this podcast, you can become a member on Patreon and you can become a member on YouTube. You can do either or you can do both. That'd be pretty sweet if you did both, but you can do either or. It's pretty much the same thing. We have a few small little things of extra content that we're going to do that's going to be members only content. And we're going to start implementing that probably pretty soon. We do also have merch that you can buy on our shop. So go to our website, firsttimereaders.com, and visit our shop on that website where you can buy your house shirt, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. And those are kind of the ways that you can support this podcast. We are very thankful for all of the people who are listening to this podcast. Our little community is you guys are awesome. I am very, very thankful and grateful to all of you who are just supporting this podcast and just helping it kind of take off, which it's slowly doing, which is really exciting. So we're going to keep up the content, keep up the machine rolling. This has been really fun for all of us, and we're planning for more seasons as we go on. But a lot of people have been waiting for this final season 1, book 7. And I know it's been a long wait, but we are finally here. It hasn't been a long wait. It's been like a month and a half. Come on, people. We waited for these books for years. A little month and a half wait wasn't that bad. So we are finally in these with Danny and Jen, and I am so thrilled. So enjoy chapter 1 of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Before we start, too, we'll have a little side discussion on the book just for like 10 minutes. And I want to read you guys some stuff that isn't in the audiobook. But
it's not in the book.
So we don't.
It's the dedication. We don't need them exactly yet.
Okay.
It's
Wait,
the
should we sit
dedication.
farther?
You can just bring the mic over. You guys.
I just don't want the mics to be cross.
No, they won't. They won't cross that much.
All right, nice,
Yeah,
cool.
If you bring them a little closer.
Yeah,
they're
see,
fine.
we're married now because we
So,
sit close.
Oh my goodness.
You guys are cute.
You guys are adorable.
So cute.
So that way there's progress in the live stream. If you look at all our episodes, we just inch
Get
closer
closer.
and closer. On the couch.
yeah,
Love
exactly.
it.
That would have been funny to do.
All right. Yeah, hold on.
The best was on someone on Instagram was like, I follow their story. Do you guys talk about it? And I was like, yeah, we do. You have to keep listening.
Oh, because someone got
They're like, I'm on
saw
book
on Instagram
4.
before.
Really?
They were on book 4 and they're like, wait, I want to know the story. Do you guys record it? Did you guys?
Oh.
record
Yeah,
it?
that's right. That's right. Someone said
Because
that.
they were like following along, but they didn't get to that part in the pod yet.
And then I was like, I don't know which book it is, but we definitely talk about it.
I think it was the beginning of
5?
6.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Beginning of 6.
Because you guys got engaged.
Wait, so all of book 6.
Oh,
were
yeah, we got-
engaged
yeah,
and
we
then
got-
married.
Yep.
In
In
book
between
6?
5 and
Does that
6,
feel
we
so
got
long ago?
engaged, and in between 6 and 7, we got married.
Isn't
That's
that
pretty
crazy?
funny.
That's like nuts. Well, you guys got engaged on book 5 sometime, right?
Well, I was thinking because it was during the break. It was May 4th. May the 4th be with us.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It was.
Just want to be with us.
Yeah,
Indeed.
and that was
Always
not on
gotta add
purpose.
it in there.
Yeah, right.
But it was during the same break of Lauren's wedding, which was also in May. So I think we had finished the book already. If not,
Book
we were very
5.
close. It might have been the last episode or
5.
something. Yeah, book 5. Rains.
He's used to these easy peasy recordings with his
Right.
friend across
His friend.
Cross
Do you know her
country.
name, Jen?
Abby.
Whoa, nice. I was going to say, it sounds like you haven't been watching the episodes.
Do I ever?
That's
I love
a
us.
fair
We
point.
support, but
I definitely support.
She's
I
my
can walk
favorite
through, just lift my
billionaire
legs
right
up.
now. So
What's a billionaire?
you wouldn't know, Jen.
she's a what?
She's my favorite billionaire.
A belt.
Do you
Well, at
know?
least we're on the same page.
Wow,
Okay,
cool.
no
We're getting
idea.
inside jokes that we could keep them out of.
What's a belt?
Oh, because you recorded this.
It's just
and
because
it
you want to
came
be
up.
like us. We can silently speak to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
can silently speak, but we have our Lord of the Rings lingo.
Yeah,
And now
yep.
we have our insider joke lingo. You
All
guys
right,
got to
well-
listen to season
is it
2.
Oh, yeah. This
Oh,
is
it's
good for
from
anyone else who
that?
hasn't
Oh.
seen
No, I
season
want. The funny
I
thing
love-
is,
It's something I make fun of Abby for.
But you know what?
Oh.
Here's the thing.
I did listen. to
Kristen
some
would
of
like
her.
that,
Yeah?
I bet. In a weird
Yeah.
way.
Can
We're
you
talking
just
about
tell
I
me?
think,
different
yeah, I
things.
think the same.
I think
I don't have time. I would really listen to it, but I legitimately don't have time.
You're going to have a commute now, so you're going to listen. A billionaire is an Animal Crossing. It's like you make money in Animal Crossing.
now, do you guys know what Animal Crossing is?
No.
It's a little video game.
You don't know Animal Crossing at all?
I've
The
heard of it.
Nintendo one.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Great game.
No.
Have you played?
Yeah, I played at least 2 of them because there was one on GameCube I played a little bit.
Okay.
And then there was
Crossing
one
and what?
on like one of the Game Boys, like a DS or something,
Yeah.
You walk
which I
around.
got after
Has
the one on
animals?
GameCube. Maybe it's all a little fuzzy now.
For a while, wasn't everyone
It's
in our high
Animals
school into
Crossing
that
the
game
Street.
for a little bit?
I think
think they
so.
had, like,
That
a
would make
phase.
sense. At least a few people.
Yeah.
Because when
I'm
she was
totally
saying
making
things,
it
it
up.
was
I don't
coming
know.
back to me, and I was like, "Turnips, the stock market."
The stock market.
No, but I feel like you just
She
go
is
around
such
and
a
build
nerd with that
farms or
stuff. It's so
something?
funny.
I have no idea.
You just gotta listen to season 2
Mm.
Yeah.
on your commutes now.
It is. I did listen to some of it.
But
I
she
should
was
listen.
asking
It is
like,
funny though, because I'm like, whoa, you know less than us.
Wait.
Abby.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
about
Yeah.
the books.
yeah,
It was just like the simple questions you were asking. I was like, whoa, she really doesn't know. So then it's even more intriguing. Like, what does a person think of when they have zero idea? Like,
I
I
know.
have
Yeah.
clue, but
Yeah.
like, not,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
She was clueless through the whole thing, which is gonna be fun.
and it was just funny to see her going through like the same motions of
Mm-hmm.
the first book of like thinking through and processing, and I think that's the intrigue of the podcast. But it's funny because it wasn't that long ago, and now I just want her to be a major
I
fan.
know. I
So-
know. She's more stubborn than you guys. She's not the biggest
Yes,
fan yet.
you're
Like,
right.
she read the
Still,
first
she's
book,
not.
and
But I
she's
like
like,
that. It's even
good,
better.
but she's like, it's
We're gonna
not.
win her over.
Yeah, but no, it gets better.
I know.
You told her,
Look,
right?
yes.
Oh,
You're saying exactly what I
Yeah.
told you guys. That's so great. That makes me so happy. That's
That's
what I've been
amazing.
telling her. I was like, wait till book 3, maybe book 4, then you'll really
You
get
need to
into
like
it.
zoom in on her saying that and make it a little video clip. It gets better.
It really
I love
does.
it.
But the book is better than the movie, the first one, for sure.
Hmm,
Because Harry has.
Oh, I should have worn my shirt.
A
The book is better.
character.
The book was better.
nice.
It always is.
That's true, but I never read the books.
Most of the
Now I am.
You're a reader now
Yeah.
of Harry Potter.
If people came to our weddings, they thought we were really big time readers. That's
So
what
I know, I love it.
Books everywhere.
It was so good.
We got people in chat. They didn't even know you guys were married.
We're married.
Well,
Some
know.
people. Yeah.
It's
we
very
had
new.
someone. I think this was a joke, but someone said, "Who are these people and where's Abby?" So I think we have someone maybe let's just listen to season 2.
Oh, that's so good.
That
Where's
is pretty
Abby
funny.
and who are these people? But I think Ananta. I think that she's a season 1 fan too.
Are we still
he?
season 1 or is it
She's
season
he.
3?
We're season
No,
1.
no, we're season
we're one.
1.
Season
I'm
1
just
playing.
asking
Season
how
2
he's
started
doing it.
before season 1 ended.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the
Good
seasons are going to be
technique,
all
honestly.
intermingled. It's going to be a mess, but
It's
it's all right.
like Star Wars.
Oh yeah, going
It's
back.
backwards,
Yeah.
then forwards, and then
That I know.
backwards again.
Great point.
John knew what he was doing before it even began. When he planted the seed years ago in book club,
Yep.
Harry Potter, and other classes too. I was like,
This is my
This
plan
Harry
been, like,
Potter
pulling
to
keeps
the
start.
string
I wanted to
up.
start a book club because I'm like, Danny and Jenn, they would be good together.
Oh yeah.
And they both haven't read Harry Potter
Perfect.
5 years ago. Do you guys
Oh,
do you
man.
guys remember where we even are in the books?
Yes.
I know it's probably
It's
an
the
obvious
last
one.
book.
Yeah.
My friend and I texted. She's like, I can't believe you haven't finished the books.
I
'Cause
know.
I told her about it, and then I'm like, you listen, right? She's like, I want to start again. I haven't, but I sent screenshots. She was like, she wants to name her child Harry
Yeah.
because of Harry Potter, and it's like an ode to like his grandfather or whatever.
Aw.
But she's like, it's really for Harry Potter.
That's amazing. I
If
think
it's
I
a boy.
kind of missed those texts.
And then there was another. What else? She said something else that was so funny. Whatever. Anyways, I'm realizing how deep it goes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're all gonna get tattoos. It's gonna be
Big time.
yeah, we're gonna be in it deep, don't worry.
You decided for us. We're
yep.
getting tattoos.
FTR tattoos. Big ones.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
So how's your guys' wedding?
How was it?
Yeah,
Awesome.
it was great.
Yep.
Yeah. It was a magical day.
Yeah. You guys got married in between the rainstorm when it was downpouring and then it stopped
Yeah.
for 20 minutes.
Oh my.
And you're like, everyone outside, let's go.
Quick, let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you, God.
There was like lightning in the
Yeah.
background, slowly moving
Yeah,
closer.
that was wild.
It was such a beautiful wedding though.
Mm.
Thanks.
You know, outside of you guys.
It was such a nice day.
You know, from our
Yeah.
perspective, it was just such a beautiful day and everything. Like
Agreed.
the whole
Our friends, especially you guys, came through clutch all day long.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
great.
Aw.
We
Wow.
felt so much love.
Oh yeah.
We got some nerdy
But yeah,
Harry
we
Potter
had a
pictures too.
torrential
Yeah.
downpour
Oh my gosh.
when it was supposed to be our ceremony outside. But then all of our friends that were traveling, I felt so bad. They said it was hailstorms
Yeah.
getting there.
Oh my gosh.
And then they
know
said they
that.
weren't even sure they were going to make it. They're like, we would have missed your entire ceremony. But then because we had to delay it, everyone was there. So that was even more special
Yeah.
that
Made
we
it so
like
much
had
better.
it delayed because
Yeah.
then everyone could make it. And we had the sun for like 25
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
It was
And
the
then
perfect little
as it
It really
ended,
was.
it like started drizzling and we
Yep.
were like all walking back.
It was like
so cool.
legitimately perfect.
Yeah.
It was like about time, so I didn't mind.
Yeah, exactly.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And it was like so there's something weird about like the pre-wedding buzz too. It's like excitement, and that just lingered for a while because we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? Inside, outside. Hold on, there's a gap in the rain. Like everyone's like talking and chatting
Yeah,
with
the
themselves. It was
buzz.
kind of fun.
It was fun.
And what was cool about that time is that everyone was doing that. We were alone in the back.
Yeah.
And we got the whole tent to ourselves. We got our first dance without
Mm-hmm.
music, which I wanted, just us two
Yeah.
in the empty
Oh,
tent.
yeah.
And awesome pictures. So that was
That
like,
picture with the rain in the
so
background
Cool.
is so beautiful.
I know those
Yeah.
are my favorite.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
few of my favorite. I have
Yeah.
a ton of favorites.
Yeah, well, they all came out.
I like
so
how often
gorgeous.
we were just taking pictures, and then I would see John
Yeah.
peeking out from like behind
Just
a
like
tree
behind
or
a tree or
bush.
something
Oh.
like that.
And
Oh, that's kind of a cool angle.
I was like, "Whoa, what? It's John over there."
Carly
got
wants
some
to
epic
frame the one
shots.
picture of
That
Emily
is-
and
that
her
is so
grandma.
My favorite.
cute.
That is
That
so
one
cute.
is
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
And then we're in the, oh my gosh. And Carly immediately is like, I need that to print.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one's my favorite. The one of you guys walking out to is my favorite. It was just like for a film picture, how clear that is.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh yeah.
Nailed it.
yeah.
The
That was
ones
so
with
nice.
the trees too, and we're like in the background of outside when we were taking our couples pictures. That was really pretty.
Oh,
It was a good
So
time.
good.
And
Yeah.
the downpour was great because it cooled off. It was
Yeah,
it was like
great.
a summer day.
I know.
And I was like, I have fall decorations and everything.
Yeah.
I was
It's
expecting it to be like a
summer.
sauna in the tent, and it was perfect.
It was.
So
When they opened
perfect.
The,
Yeah. Oh
the
my gosh.
curtains or whatever.
Nice breeze.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
It was a
stole it
lovely
from
day,
you, sir.
guys. It
And
was so
then
great.
Kristen and Kaylee made us our table numbers on the pages of Harry Potter, which
Yeah.
was so awesome.
It was
And
really
the
fun
runner.
to make.
And the
those.
runner, which is
On our
also
welcome
amazing.
table.
So I feel like there were Harry Potter references throughout
Mm-hmm.
the day hidden there. So then even we're not that public about the podcast. Like plenty of people that are close to us don't even know we do this. So it was funny to just have people be like, "Oh, you like Harry Potter?" We're like, "Yeah." A little bit."
People were reading.
a little bit.
They were like sitting down and they're like, oh, I didn't realize that was Harry Potter on our table.
And
Like,
people kept
right,
coming up to
yeah.
us. They're like, I saw Dumbledore on there, and I just started reading. Or like, I look across, and my one friend Isaac is just intently reading the table number page.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun! I didn't
was
even
like,
notice anyone
oh,
doing
yeah.
that.
We heard that a few times. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Or people were trying to guess what book it was or what chapter.
Oh, that's fun.
well, the chapter was on there, but what book it was
Okay.
from it. So that was cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even our friend Dan, who listens to the pod, friend of the pod.
Mhm.
He got the inside scoop of the whole journey, watching us from afar.
Yeah. Me and my mom were in a competition because the book page that we had as ours was like obscure. It was like, where is this from?
Nice.
So we were reading it, and my brother was reading it. Who he has read it once or like watched some movies or something like that. And me and my mom were trying to figure out where it is because we're like Potter nerds.
Yeah.
So we both had a difference, and we looked it up, and I was right. So
I've been
thank you.
disappointed if you got it wrong.
That's great.
That must have been kind
funny.
of fun then,
Yeah.
actually, because
Yeah, it
if
was.
you knew Harry Potter, you could
Yeah.
read
That's
it and
like
be
a cool trivia
where-
thing.
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Figure out where this page
Yeah.
is and just cut a clip from it.
That would be really fun.
And then the
That's a good idea.
sword.
I know that was great. That worked
Oh
out
my
nice.
gosh, I'm so upset I missed it live.
That was cute.
But
I know
The
we didn't
pictures were
announce it, which
amazing.
is kind of what we want. We didn't want to
I was
announce
outside
it.
of that.
The sword cake cutting. That was
Yeah,
great.
and people are like, is that the Gryffindor sword?
You could have just said yeah.
Yeah.
It's whatever we want it to be.
But then
Yeah.
as Lord of the Rings, since that's brought up like every other day
Yeah.
here. Actually, every
I was gonna
recording.
say every recording pretty much.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. We'll get more details later because it's late. I don't want to keep you guys that late.
Yeah, we probably started
Oh.
like, how much
Yeah.
longer did we make?
Yeah, I
it?
know. Everyone's like,
So
we love the
sorry.
wedding. We love the details of that.
But shut up.
But let's get into Harry Potter. Can you guys tell me the title of this book is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? What is this book going to be about?
I mean,
Death.
I don't even know what a Deathly Hallow is. What's a hallow?
It's a great question.
Wait.
Oh,
'cause
I kind of remember.
we
this
were saying because
conversation.
we had the discussion where I was thinking it was hollow, like
Yeah. Like,
Godric's Hollow,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's hallow, like hallowed be thou name. Where I'm like, so wait, is hallowed like something sacred? Is that what that even means?
But what does that even mean?
So is a
Deathly?
hallow something sacred?
yeah, kind of.
So a deathly something sacred?
A deathly sacred, maybe.
So is that an object or is that a place or what? A deathly
You're not gonna get answers
hallow. No, I know. We're just speculating.
because I always
Processing.
ask and I want an answer.
Deathly hallow. Wait, singular or plural? Deathly hallows.
Well, you
Deathly
took the
Hallows.
cover
cover off of our book,
Hallows.
so I don't know.
Tell us how you really feel.
So
Well done,
early in the
Danny.
day, and I hid that thing.
That makes me so happy. Hide that.
Yeah, nice.
No,
Don't look.
I think I looked at it.
That makes me so
I don't know what's
happy.
on there, but it's not worth risking it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's plural.
Oh yeah, nice. All right, so Deathly Hallows.
I have no idea.
Multiple sacreds.
So
Multiple
what is
death sacreds?
Sacred.
The sacredcy of death.
Deathly Hallows. I don't really know what a hallow is. I'm like, is it
Just keep
is it physical
saying
or is
it
a
over and
thing?
over.
It is
It'll
something
come.
sacred,
Like a
so that's like
spell? Is it like
A place, a person.
it's like something
like a
that's
seance,
you're right.
like a
Something
thing
that's
you
hallow
do?
is sacred. But you don't know what
I'm
it
getting
is.
the feeling it's like for whatever reason, Peeves has been on my mind,
Hmm.
like just the idea of collective energy. So maybe a hallow is like a collective thing people do together. So maybe Dumbledore's death leads to a hallow, like a thing you all do together for mourning. Like all of Hogwarts bands together to get like a certain energy. It's a deathly energy. It's not a good thing, but it's like only certain circumstances could bring it about. I think partially because I'm trying to justify his death. And if there was a hallow, a deathly one, maybe that's more powerful than a lifely hallow. But I don't know. Or maybe it's bad. It's a deathly hallow. And Voldemort is using it with his followers to do a big time sacred charm spell thing on the good guys.
What do you think the content of this book is going to be about, though? So the title is The Deathly Hallows, but is this Harry's 7th year at school? He said at the end that he's not coming back. Is that true?
Did you believe it, Jen?
That he's not coming back?
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
It feels like it wouldn't make sense to go back to school, but I have a hard time picturing him not.
Yeah.
Every book has been school, and it would just fit so perfectly. 7 books,
Like, what
7
is he
years
gonna
at
do?
school.
Are his friends going with him? Because it sounded like they were gonna go with him on this
they're
like
going with him.
hunt.
Yeah.
But
He
what
didn't
are
need
they
to break up
hunting?
with Ginny. Well, they're hunting the Horcruxes.
He didn't need
But
to
they
break up
don't
with
even
Ginny.
know.
Well, it felt
How many do they
inconsistent.
need?
He's like,
How many
sorry,
do they
Ginny, I'm
have?
going to go on this thing all by myself. We got to break up.
JR
And that was it.
something? What's the initials?
R.A.B.
R-A-B.
Okay.
What's the name?
I don't know.
Something black.
Yeah, you think it's Regulus Black.
Sirius's brother.
Yeah.
Regulus Black.
Because you take notes.
The bad
Because
gone
you had
good.
a full character list and just went through those.
Yeah, I went through my R's. Yeah, he's my top suspect. Now, is he already dead? Is he alive? Are they going to use him for assistance? Will the mirror ever come back? The one that Sirius gave Harry? Did Harry inherit anything else from Sirius? Did Dumbledore leave
did.
anything for Harry?
His little servant, house elf.
Or did he? I still think Bellatrix actually inherited the house and told the house elf to fake it.
Creature.
And that's why they shouldn't have let Creature into Hogwarts, because he could have been a spy this whole time.
Doesn't matter. Dumbledore's dead.
Yeah. But I still keep hoping that it was necessary. Like, we're going to find a prophecy or something that'll justify it.
That Dumbledore.
Like that Dumbledore knew he needed to like let Harry step into this role in a new way, but he couldn't do it while he was alive. Harry's too young to be headmaster. But I feel like they do have to start at school, but I hope they don't stay there long.
Is it even going to start?
Wow, it's so exciting to be back.
I know. Seriously, I am so excited to be back with you guys. It is.
You're double dipping now.
I know. It's like the best. It's
He's
like,
cheating on us.
My life is complete. I have 2 seasons going. I have missed you guys so much, though. I am not gonna lie. Like, there's something different when you're going back to book 1 and you're asking like really basic questions. But you guys know, like, book 1, it has some stuff in it,
Yeah.
Right.
but it doesn't have everything. When you're hitting like 3, 4,
So
5, 6, and 7,
complex.
like I had to retrain my brain to like figure out what questions I was gonna ask you, because they're not just basic. Nah, it's not hard, but it's still fun.
me, it
It's
would
like
be
Yeah, like keeping all that straight in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
it's so fun though.
Whatever.
He's had this mapped out forever. These questions have been in his life for years.
Very
This is
true.
my lifelong
He's been
ambition.
waiting.
Waiting.
All right, you guys ready to start chapter 1?
I don't know. Is it? Am I gonna like this? Is it gonna be like that first chapter that I'll never forget?
I
With
think it's a good first chapter. I don't think it's better than that one, to be completely honest.
okay,
Set your expectations a little lower.
Oh my goodness. This wasn't about Kristen not having time to read. this is an eventful first chapter, and that's why we're doing a live read.
We could just live stream this is what we could do for the whole podcast. We could just come here, live stream, and have a full discussion every single chapter if you guys want.
Can I just put in context? I am working 10-hour days.
Ooh.
I am
So
doing.
you're not gonna have time to read, so you just come over and we
yeah.
listen, and then
Yeah, I mean,
Jen,
Maybe you do audiobooks.
this podcast
now.
this book
Maybe
one
I
is gonna
should do
or book 7 is
audiobooks.
gonna go on for another year.
Yay!
oh my gosh, it might.
I still can't believe book 6 is like engaged and married.
Yeah.
That's
is crazy to me.
Well, I guess maybe in other people's mind that's crazy because it's so short. But I'm thinking it's so long.
That is pretty funny. You're like, one book is so long. It's like basically a year.
All right, everyone, we are going to play it in
Sorry.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold on. Crap. Hold on, everyone. I can't believe I forgot this. I need to read you guys the
Oh, yeah. I was just saying the dedication.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. The dedication.
Yikes.
Sorry, everyone. Oh, my gosh. Everyone pause everything that you're doing. So there's 3 things. She wrote a dedication, and she also wrote she put 2 little block quotes in this. I'm just going to read those to you. Then we're going to start after that. The dedication of this book is split 7 ways. To Neil, to Jessica, to David, to Kenzie, to Di, to Anne, and to you. If you have stuck with Harry until the very end. It's in the shape of a lightning bolt.
It sure is. And I don't trust these guys. Who's Neil? Who's Jessica? Who's David? Why are there 7 of them?
family.
They're all Horcruxes.
This is just her family.
Okay.
You what she loves.
It is in the shape of a lightning
And
bolt,
it'd be
which is
to
cool.
us too, so we would be a Horcrux too, Danny, if that's the case.
All right, that's
if we
fair,
have stuck
that's
with Harry
fair.
until the very end. Great little thing. And then this is these are the 2 lines that we get. Oh, the torment bred in the race, the grinding scream of death, and the stroke that hits the vein. The hemorrhage none can staunch. The grief, the curse no man can bear. But there is a cure in the house, and not outside it. No, not from others, but from them, their bloody strife. We sing to you, dark gods beneath the earth. Now hear, you blissful powers underground. Answer the call. Send help. Bless the children. Give them triumph now. This is from the Liberation Bearers.
Libation.
Libation Bearers. Yeah, thank you. And the second one is from William Penn.
Oh.
Death is but crossing the world, as friends do the sea. They live in one another still, for they must needs be present, that love and live in that which is omnipresent. In this divine glass they see face to face, and their converse is free, as well as pure. This is the comfort of friends, that though they may be said to die, yet their friendship and society are, in the best sense, ever present, because immortal. William Penn, More Fruits of Solitude.
Some old school language. That's hard to follow.
It is
It's pretty intense.
We can talk about that in a bit, but let's start the audiobook.
Talking about friends and death.
I know, it's talking about friends and death pretty much.
Because immortal.
Oh, Dumbledore.
He's coming back. All right, you guys ready to start the audiobook?
Ready.
There's chapter 1.
That was intense. Yikes. Glad it wasn't Trelawney.
You're glad it wasn't Trelawney?
I thought for a second it was. It's somehow easier when it's someone we don't already
for
know,
sure. Yeah.
but still, yikes.
It would have been brutal if it was one of the teachers that you already knew.
And when he went to Draco, I was like, oh no.
I know. How traumatizing is that for Draco as well? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's so weird. I didn't think I was going to start feeling bad for them, but
Why they deserve it?
feeling bad for the Malfoys a bit.
I know.
You
Yeah.
feel bad for them, but they chose that side. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, they did choose that side, but I don't think they chose all this.
They knew what they were getting themselves into. Bellatrix is related to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
And
all the
Narcissus,
same.
yeah.
I feel a little bad for him.
Right.
But
It is so bizarre.
so we're fully out of Harry's head now.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how other chapters started.
Yeah,
But
other
that was
first
kind of
chapters
like
have
a
that.
vision or something.
Books.
Like it almost felt like it could have been from his perspective. Oh, but yeah, in the
No,
last
they're
book with
talking
Snape
about
and
Harry.
that unbreakable vow. I forgot.
Yeah.
Was that the beginning of the last book?
Yeah. A few chapters have been out of his perspective. A few, like the first 2, maybe 3 in the last book were out of his perspective.
So I'm curious if that's going to continue.
It's a little disorienting sometimes when you're out of Harry's perspective. Like when you get back in his mind, it's like a comforting little place, but
Right.
it's a little strange. It like catches you off guard a bit.
It's comforting because you're usually far from Voldemort.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh.
No, we're right on top of him. What do you guys think of the dedication that I read and those 2 lines? What do you think those mean? I know they're a little weird, but so the dedication of this book is split 7 ways: to Neil,
Split
Jessica, to
7
David, to
ways.
Kenzie, to Dee, to Anne, and to you. If you have stuck with Harry until the very end.
DAY.
Danny's deciphering.
K. No.
He's gonna smush them all together. Does it make a name?
means something.
And then those 2 lines from the libation bearers and from more fruits of solitude.
Wait, what are the Horcruxes we know already? Just seeing if these names can mean anything. Oh, can't look at chapter
I like
titles.
the number
That
7.
is too far.
Interesting. Well, it's talking all about death, right? And then the last one is about friends.
About friendship, yeah.
The
Is he covering the chapter names?
yeah. I know Jen
I was
wants
like,
to
your hand is
peek.
really strategically placed
Oh,
right
I
there.
Very intentional.
And I was trying to lift it. I can't even like
That's why.
raise it. I don't know. That one,
Get the headphone.
the William Penn one, reminded me of
Nice.
like a friend
Yeah.
of foreshadowing. Maybe friends dying in this more so. I don't know.
More friends dying.
Don't act like you don't know.
Which friends are you talking about?
More friends dying?
A cure in the house,
I know that stuck out to me too, actually.
not from others, but from them. Who's them?
But inside
Their
of
bloody
them.
strife.
I
We
think
sing to you,
inside of
dark
them.
gods beneath the earth. Who are the dark gods beneath the earth? Symbolically.
I wouldn't think
Those
they
who
were
have died
gods,
before us?
But, okay. Well, it's not like ancient magic.
There it is.
It's
ancient magic.
I miss ancient magic so much.
Blissful powers underground. Blissful powers underground? Is that death? Is it talking about just straight death?
I don't know. It had something about blood in there. I thought you'd freak out.
Bloody strife.
Yeah, but you didn't even underline it.
I can underline it for you.
No, it's for you.
But I feel like that's more of an exclamation, but maybe not. It could be actual blood.
So think about that. We'll come back to that one.
Wait, did she have any other stuff in the other books? No.
No, there wasn't like there were dedications in each book. But this dedication was just like, it was lovely, I thought. And then these 2 little, I don't know what you call these in a book. Quotes, pre-quotes, I don't know. But she hasn't had these in any other book. This is the only book that she has those in.
Yeah, it's preparing you for what you're going to read. You're the friend, and you have to deal with death. You're the friend of Harry, and you're going to deal with his death. But he's going to be immortal. He's going to figure out how to not have a Horcrux, but live forever. Because Voldemort's part of him.
Voldemort's part of him, huh? Could be. Wait, is William Penn saying death and love? Is that what he's comparing?
I don't read poems.
I don't think that was a poem. I think that was just like a
statement he made, and
yeah, it does read like a poem.
more fruits of solitude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know a poem when I saw one. So
Come on, guys, you guys are in book club. We dissect poems.
Huh.
You dissect poems.
but a children's book poem. Everyone else does, and I just sat there.
Death is but crossing the world.
Death is but crossing the world.
So
as
what are you
friends
getting about
do the
this?
seas.
They live in one another still. Like when friends are apart, they still are a part of each other. Oh shoot, is that Harry and Voldemort?
For they
they
must
need
need
to
Or
be present.
Dumbledore.
be
That
present.
love and live in that which is omnipresent. In this divine glass, they see face to face, and their converse is free as well as pure. It's the comfort of friends that you like. It's kind of that idea that even they're far away, it's still a comfort. That though they may be said to die, yet their friendship and society are in the best of sense ever present because immortal.
They're not friends.
So I think it's more just about death in general and grief then, because it's saying even in death, there's still connection, just like a friend crossing the world and going away. It's like you're not seeing them, they're not with you, but you're still connected forever. A divine glass to see face to face. A divine mirror gifted from your uncle to see face to face.
You're not gonna get off that mirror, are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help it. Oh, I wouldn't mind Dumbledore being immortal,
You think he's
but
gonna
I
come
really
back?
hope it's not Voldemort being immortal.
So the
Well,
book
this would be
ends.
that'd be a twisted version of what I think he's trying to say. But the idea of connection between Harry and Voldemort is like a twisted kind of warped version of a friendship of like no matter what, you can't shake the other, even in death. So I feel like the negative view of this would be the Voldemort Harry connection. The positive view would be the Harry Dumbledore connection. And I think because it's making an earthly comparison, friend to friend, even though someone actually is dead, it's saying the memory of them lives on and can still influence, or you can still be encouraged by their past existence. So we'll see how far that is taken. But I hope Harry can have some good conversations with Portrait Dumbledore or a nice long letter. Nay, a journal or a book even would be great from Dumbledore. Because I just can't help but feel like this was part of a plan, like Dumbledore needed to do it, or at least knew enough that it was a risk. Because if you knew there was a 10% chance of dying, you'd start making preparations.
Yeah.
If it was a 1% chance, you'd start making some plans and say, hey, it's unlikely. I need a little bit of an insurance policy here.
But do you think that he knew that? Do you think that
whatever.
Dumbledore thought he was going to die?
I think he thought he would die eventually, but I don't think he thought it this soon. I think in his mind, it was a year away. It was whenever Voldemort tried to strike or do whatever. But I feel like Dumbledore kind of knew it was coming eventually, not as an actuality, but a potential thing. Unless there was a prophecy that he knew he had to die in order for the great battle to happen. Since Harry is the chosen one after all. And maybe that has some actual prophecy truth where there needs to be a chosen one. Maybe a lot of the prophecies in that room have actually been pointing to this moment. Or maybe that's making this bigger than it has to be in the scheme of history. But, you know.
That would be a lot of prophecies.
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
What do you think about the scene that they're in? So the drawing room was full of silent people sitting at a long and ornate table. The room's usual furniture had been pushed carelessly up against the wall. Illumination came from a roaring fire beneath a handsome marble mantelpiece surrounded by a gilded mirror. Snape and Yaxley lingered for a moment on the threshold. As their eyes grew accustomed to the lack of light, they were drawn upward to the strangest feature of the scene, an apparent unconscious human figure hanging upside down over the table, revolving slowly as if suspended by an invisible rope, and reflected in the mirror and in the bar, and the bare polished surface of the table below. None of these people seated underneath this singular sight was looking at it except for a pale young man sitting almost directly below it. He seemed unable to prevent himself from glancing upward every minute or so.
So that was Draco, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The
That's
pale
what I
young
thought,
man. Okay.
Because he recognized her too.
Yeah.
Even though he wouldn't have taken her classes. So she did Muggle studies, I guess.
Yeah.
Or something similar, just some kind of Muggle appreciation, like whatever. Huh.
I still don't understand his. He is a mudblood, or sorry, whatever.
Half-blood.
A half-blood.
Yeah.
And he wants nothing to do with them. It's like Hitler.
It doesn't. Yeah, it does not seem to make sense. I mean, honestly,
Legit.
yeah.
And I mean, when I was reading this chapter, I was like, Jen's question that she always brings up is so valid for why do people follow him? I don't
Right.
understand it. It's
Everyone's afraid of him.
Yeah.
Even Bellatrix, who like loves him the most,
yeah.
is afraid. The second he hints at something that isn't like complete praise, she
Yeah.
like freaks out.
I love this chapter too because it has so much showing. There's not a ton of dialogue. She doesn't really say like, oh, Draco is terrified looking up at the teacher. It's just like a small little line. There's like a pale-faced boy just keeps looking up at it. And you can tell that he is horrified that the teacher he probably didn't take Muggle studies, but a teacher he knew at Hogwarts is hanging upside down. Completely embarrassed, probably about to die.
Yep.
Probably absolutely terrifying.
I'm already getting the feeling from the writing of this of like the tone of the book. And of course this could be an extreme start, but I'm feeling like it's going to continue. Like she's putting thought into every word. This feels like she really went for it with this book,
Yep. 100%.
Saving it all for the end.
Snape does talk about this source that he has. So
that's not good.
Yeah, they're discussing when Harry Potter is going to be moved. And what do you think about this whole thing? Where is Harry going to be moved?
I was just thinking the Burrow because it's another member of the Order of the Phoenix, but we don't know. Do we know where anyone else lives? It could be wherever Tonks and Lupin are going to live.
Okay.
Kingsley
cool.
could be cool, but I imagine Kingsley's a bachelor living in London somewhere.
His bachelor pad.
But like also he's a little older. Maybe he's not. I don't know anything about Kingsley. But the Burrow is a logical choice because
Isn't it an obvious one?
Yeah. Maybe it's a little too obvious.
That's what I thought. I was thinking more obscure.
But it feels like Harry he's so protected with the Dursleys. I'm assuming that's where he is, unless he just stayed at Hogwarts. But the plan was for him to go to the Dursleys. Then, I mean, the Burrow, that's been the move for a couple books, right? Like going from the Dursleys to the Burrow before school starts and then going with the Weasleys to go to Hogwarts. But then I guess they just have to fly over. Well, no matter what, they're going to have to just fly, right? If they can't apparate.
They can't apparate or take the Flute Network.
But then
But we didn't know apparition was so regulated. So now it feels weird. We're like, oh man, they can't even apparate without it being like showing up on some ministry map or something. We suspected it, but not to this degree.
But then I don't get that though, because even if he could be apparated to another protected area, why they could like intercede?
Oh, like intercept it. Well, we don't know anything about it. Maybe. Or maybe they could block it a little bit. Because there is some kind of control over it because you can't apparate in and out of Hogwarts.
Yeah, or into Grimmauld Place.
Right. So if the ministry can view it, they might have some control over it on a larger scale. So if they think part of the ministry is compromised, maybe they just don't want to.
He wouldn't go back to Black's house?
It seems funny for them to say that that's a member of the Order's house because I feel like Snape would have said Harry's house. But that is another option. It's a valid option. You're right. And it would make sense for it to be a place we've already seen potentially because there's a certain comfort there. Or maybe this entire book is going to be uncomfortable.
I don't know.
Where does McGonagall live? She probably has a lovely home.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, is she even a member? We haven't seen her at any of the things. She might not technically be a member of the Order.
We haven't seen her in any of the Order stuff.
Why though?
We've always assumed she is.
But she's always taking over Dumbledore's part.
Yeah.
Like she's covering, like subbing for him. She could be in the Order.
But she wasn't at the Order stuff. Why not?
Because she had to be at the school while
she
Dumbledore.
has 13 kids. That's why. I don't know.
Single mom raising 13 kids.
Yeah.
She has kittens.
Nice.
Hey.
Grimald, the Burrow, cave where Lupin lives.
But they're trying to capture Harry.
Yes, they want to intercept him between, which is exactly when they said that. I thought for a second this was a flashback to the beginning of book 6 because this felt like it could have been what Moody was trying to prevent at the beginning of Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah,
because when they were moving him.
They were moving him, right? But then it was like, okay, no, this can't be that. But then who's the secret source in the Order, or who knows what's going on in the Order?
Well, now we don't know who's good and bad because Snape,
we don't.
Snape was the beginning of the end.
Was Snape really tight with anyone else there?
No, he's a loner.
How much do we trust Moody? Oh, that sounds a little mean.
I don't know.
No, it could be Moody because Crouch Jr. kidnapped him. Unless that was all fake.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be intense.
This could be weaving a weird narrative through all the books here.
That would be intense.
Oh, there was something I was going to say. I can't remember.
Unless Creature's been around this whole time, and it is my Bellatrix theory about it's not really Harry's house, and Creature isn't really Harry's because Bellatrix inherited it all and told Creature to fake it. But either way, we don't trust Creature.
It was interesting. This is a different topic.
Yeah.
That Voldemort sounds very weak when he is doing his voiceover. Whereas if you were to read it, does it actually say that he's weak? No. Right?
And how did you interpret
that?
Note. You took it as weakness.
Because I've listened to all the books.
Say, is it different?
Oh, different than previous.
It is different. He sounds softer and weaker. And some of the voices, I'm like, you're losing your touch here in this book.
Really?
Because he sounded like Hagrid a little bit as Yuxley. Like some of the voice, granted, I have not listened to it in a month or so. But it was interesting. I'm like, I can't tell your voices apart anymore.
Well, we do know that Yaxley is taller than Snape. What if he's Hagrid's half brother?
Oh my!
A different half brother, a more human looking half brother.
That's why he sounded. I think it was Hagrid. I don't know. I'm making that
interesting. I'm gonna
but I
chop
just
it all
was
up.
Curious though, in the Voldemort parts, does it actually say like he, like a weak?
No, there was nothing here
like
that I picked up in just listening to it at one time that made it sound like weakness. But that I would have been circling something like that. I think it's possible we're supposed to interpret it as weakness, or maybe he's just kind of cavalier about the whole thing.
No,
killing someone, whatever.
Different here. Only because he also mentioned. Only reason I say that too is because he also mentions like, I wouldn't be able to handle that now. Where does he say that about someone?
I wouldn't be able to handle that now.
Handle another person. The Ministry. He wouldn't be able to handle losing
to Harry.
Yeah.
Or the
Scrimgeour
minister attack. Yeah. If he tries to kill him.
And to me, that made me think like he's losing his power. So.
Or it's just losing his power, and it's just very fragile at the moment because that's what I think Voldemort is maybe playing it off as. So maybe there's an underlying thing of is he just weak, or there's an underlying thing of, which is what Voldemort is making it out to be, that they can't lose any advantage they have if they move to because if these are all his followers in this room, it's like the Order of the Phoenix. It's not that significant. If he goes to try to storm the Ministry, maybe the Ministry could overpower him because there's a lot of people there.
Yep.
So he's got to, it's like moves and counter moves. It's like he's got to do things to set things up for how he's going to do. That's why they put the Imperius curse on Pius Thickniece, which is like an important figure that they're going to, they need. So they might just keep doing that.
I was even trying to picture that. He's like, it took a lot of effort. I'm like, so what happened? Like he's fighting you, deflecting it, and all of a sudden he gives up, and now he's just like, boom, taking over.
Yeah. And I wonder how many of the other people in the Ministry have had training to fight the Imperius Curse or something like that. Like, if you're an Auror or if you're in magical law enforcement, is it like, when you see those people getting tased when they're in the military, they have to just take it, or they have to walk into the gas chamber or something like that?
Yeah.
Is it like that? Do they have to experience the Imperius Curse and try to resist it? And is Pius Thickness just weak?
It took a long time, so I don't think so, but.
And like, how long does it last? And is he just imperious forever now?
And from far away, like you have to be up close.
And like, yeah, do you set him on a mission and just let him go and do it, but you don't know like how well he's going to do it? Or can from a distance, you got a little remote control car, you can just move him around? Or is it like, yeah, like how much control do you have, and do you know what he's up to? Could you have him do anything? Can he then imperious other people? Like, is he an infection, a disease within the ministry now? Or could someone discover that he's been imperious and like fix him, save him? I don't know. It's weird.
So it is really weird. Is he related at all to the source? Could he be the source? Who is their source? Who is Snape's source?
Well, we're kind of thinking the Order is all of the people we already know that we met in the Order of the Phoenix. But there could be other people. You're thinking it's someone new?
Oh, no, I'm just mad at Snape. That's why I was shaking my head. I'm like, this
Anytime
whole
you hear the
time,
name.
he's been like soaking up information, and now he's on the other side.
Isn't he gross in this chapter too? There's small little things that there's one mention. I gotta find this
well,
actually.
Harry wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know?
Who would their source be?
Is it a person or a source as in like
And why did Snape cut
powerful
off
source?
the Dark Lord
Yeah.
to prevent him from saying this? It feels weird. Like
Their
almost like-
dynamic is strange right now.
Yeah, this is so weird. Like,
yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I
nobody
feel like
cuts off
Snape is
Voldemort.
stronger than Voldemort right now, and that's why I feel like what's this shift? And then the title of it is what, Two Dark Lords or something?
The Dark Lord ascending.
Oh, I thought
But you don't know.
two.
It could be. You don't. Maybe the Dark Lord is Snape.
it's weird.
But
There's because this is even the line from the chapter when they're having this little discussion, where Voldemort says Severus here, indicating the seat on his immediate right. Yaxley beside Dolohov, the two men took their allotted places. Most of the eyes around the table followed Snape, and it was to him that Voldemort spoke first. I did the whole plans. So, my lord, the Order of the Phoenix intends to move Harry Potter from his current place of safety on Saturday next at nightfall. The interest around the table sharpened palpably. Some stiffened, others fidgeted, all gazing at Snape and Voldemort. Saturday at nightfall, repeated Voldemort. His red eyes fastened upon Snape's black ones with such intensity that some of the watchers looked away, apparently fearful that they themselves would be scorched by the ferocity of the gaze. Snape, however, looked calmly back into Voldemort's face, and after a moment or two, Voldemort's lipless mouth curved into something like a smile. Good. Very good. And this information comes from the source we discussed, said Snape. There's a weird dynamic between those two right now. Because everyone is looking away and Snape is locking
Everyone's
eyes.
fidgeting and Snape is so confident.
Yeah. So
It is
that makes you
weird.
hate
because
Snape
he just
even
had
more.
like a win.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but it almost feels like, is Voldemort threatened by him, or is he empowered that he's got literally a right-hand man that is like strong?
I'm still picturing Voldemort as this weak, shriveled up person with not that much power, and Snape's doing his dirty work. But Snape, deep down, is like, you are so weak right now that I'm going to take over. That's how I'm feeling.
So like
the
Snape
vibe
could
of
be the
this
ultimate,
chapter.
yeah. Like he could be the Dark Lord ascending, meaning
And that's
taking
why you're
over
like confident, like,
for
okay, I
Voldemort a
just did
little.
what I said I was gonna do. I also tricked everyone here, and I tricked everyone in the Order, and like, I don't know, he's feeling on top of the world.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that is really weird.
But he is gross. He is gross in this chapter, though. It's
Yeah, it's so weird. And
He
like,
was gross to begin
and being
with.
that
a greasy
cold
little
with
thing.
the teacher that he already knew, and like, just I don't know, that felt so weird.
Yeah.
Like the coldness of it, and
but
then
he's flipped the switch. I don't know. Can you do that as a human? I don't even know. I'm like, is he a created being? Did Snape die and Voldemort created a Snape to take his place?
Or is it his son or something, you know? Like, is this like a connection that goes beyond? We don't know anything about Snape's family. I wasn't even thinking about him being created. Like,
We know a
by
little bit
Voldemort.
about his family.
Do we?
Yeah, it was
From
the mom.
His mom is Eileen Prince.
Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot. And she
did something though. She did an article.
But she was in
But what did
Hogwarts
she do?
too.
She was like a good Gobstones. She was in the Gobstones
The
Club. or something like
Gobstones
that.
Club. Oh, okay.
What is that?
Doesn't seem like
It's like
Voldemort's type.
Yeah.
A
I
what?
think it's a nerd game in Harry Potter.
I think of it as being
Hogwarts.
similar to like marbles.
Yeah.
Like you can collect them and play games with them.
I think she was in the Gobstones Club or something.
I thought it was more dark, but okay.
Huh. Yeah, that is a little funny.
But she was a witch, or she was a muggle? A witch.
Well, she was at Hogwarts.
And she was with...
Yeah, she was a witch.
But
We just don't know if she was Muggle-born.
Muggle-born. No,
He's
he is
half-blood.
mixed, right?
Snape is half-blood.
Yeah, so what is with these two?
I know. The two people
The
who
two
seem
of
like they're in the
them.
most control are the two people
It's
that are
because
the
they just
half-blood.
despise their
Yeah,
whatever,
it
the
is true.
opposite, whatever.
And that's true of
Yeah.
Voldemort.
Parent.
You know that of Voldemort. You don't. Maybe it seems likely that's true of Snape, which is why he is so closely aligned with Voldemort. They share something in common. They probably have absolute hatred for their Muggle parent.
Unless they have the same dad.
Ooh, half
same dad?
siblings.
I don't know. You just
Interesting.
said something.
Who would be old enough to be both of their dads?
I don't know the age
little weird.
difference.
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Ew. Yeah, but if they
Horace.
did
Weird
the
family tree.
love potion thing, can you just hold them at can you do a spell that makes them not age?
And with a time turner, anything is possible.
Oh my gosh.
There's no
those
time
got-
turners
they
anymore.
Not
got
anymore, but
turned
back when
off.
they were conceived,
Yeah,
there
for
might have
sure.
been.
That was the most ridiculous line to okay, they all broke.
I know. Yeah, it's
I
absurd.
like that she got rid
Yeah.
of them, and I'm just gonna run with it because otherwise it's too complicated.
Yeah.
But
What?
yeah,
You're the one that keeps bringing it up.
yeah, because I like them. It's fun, but now it's like a joke. Before it was an actual part of the story.
Yeah.
But now it'd be a bit much for her to bring it up, so I'm gonna trust it's closed.
Hermione was another one.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So they have their Voldemort even says some weird stuff here where he goes again. Voldemort looked up slowly at the slowly revolving body as he went on. I shall attend to the boy in person. There have been too many mistakes where Harry Potter is concerned. Some of them have been my own. That Potter lives is due more to my error than to his triumphs. I have been careless, and so have been thwarted by luck and chance, those wreckers of all but the best laid plans. But I know now. I know better now. I understand that those things that I did not understand before, I must be the one to kill Harry Potter, and I shall be. Is he right?
Yes, but it's not going to happen.
And then on top of that,
But
why?
also, he said that the prophecy is only a prophecy because they made it a prophecy.
Yes. Dumbledore said that to Harry.
He actually doesn't need to. It's just something that's in him now that he has to fulfill because it's self-proclaimed prophecy.
What do you
It
mean,
really is.
self-proclaimed? Like
It's not really real. It's just that he created this prophecy, and because now he created a monster Harry is Voldemort's opposite. So he created this monster of a power.
like by marking him and choosing
Because
him, he's initiating
Yes.
the prophecy. Yeah.
But he doesn't have to go through with it. He could just let Harry live his life over
Yeah.
there.
Could
and
he now though?
lives his life over there.
No, well,
I feel like
that's
it's
the
too late
interesting line
now.
from the prophecy. Neither can live while the other survives. And Dumbledore said this with Harry.
But what
He's
does
like,
that mean?
exactly. That's such an
Because
interesting question.
They could just live their own lives, and what would make them both
Yeah, I guess
die?
you're right. Like, why is there
Is
a
it
time
because
schedule?
Voldemort is, I mean, obviously this is so
Yeah,
obvious, but
so-
Voldemort is evil, and because his pride is so huge,
Yeah.
he's not going to let it go.
Well-
like what you're saying.
and Harry can't let it go
He can't
either.
let it go. Well, yeah, that's true.
Because
Only-
he needs to
Dumbledore
avenge
said
his
that.
parents.
But I
Yeah.
feel yeah.
So
okay.
that's why it's almost like things are set into motion too much. Maybe there's something where they can meet up together and say, okay, I forgive you, you forgive me. Maybe that's the end of this.
That'll be
They're
the
both
day.
gonna just forgive each other.
that he's one
Neither
dies.
can
Yeah.
live.
But Dumbledore said this about Harry, and the same is probably true for Voldemort. Voldemort this is his life's purpose, to kill Harry Potter, the boy who evaded him so long. And then Harry's purpose is to avenge. I don't know if it's revenge so much as it's like he just takes it personally. And he wants to be the one to vanquish Voldemort.
I don't understand why Voldemort has this epiphany. He says, I understand those things that I did not understand before. Is that because he was reflecting on what Snape originally spoiled about the prophecy and then he reevaluated? Or did he learn more about the prophecy even though it was broken?
I think he learned more about ancient magic.
Oh, of course. The ancient magic.
That he ignored.
I mean, he definitely could have learned more.
No, I'm serious. Though.
Yeah, but why does he understand more now that he didn't understand before?
Because he was
understands
too
that he must
prideful.
be the one to kill Harry Potter.
Did you just say
Harry Potter. Yeah, good old Harry Potter.
Well, I think it's partly because he thought he was going to kill Harry right immediately when he became a creature again. And
he thought it'd be easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then he had to go back to the drawing board.
But even that feels so weird. And
What do you mean?
now, well, because he says, I must be the one to kill Harry. But he already tried to do that like a bunch of times. And it didn't work. So why is it now all of a sudden he's like, I understand?
Yeah.
But then is it that he understands, that's why he does the wand swap, because he understands Priori Incantatum, and he's like, my wand's not going to do any good. I either need to double up my wands or just use a different wand. He at least seems to understand that part, but that's a little weird.
Ancient magic.
Yeah. Why are they swapping the wands? Why is he requiring Lucius Malfoy's wand?
Well, I'm also thinking he already tried to kill Harry with that wand. It didn't work, so let's try another one.
Yeah.
But then it was interesting because it says it's like chopping off an arm.
Where did it say that?
I thought that's what it said.
What's like chopping
Giving
off an arm?
your wand off
All right, let's
is
see.
like chopping off an arm.
Yeah. And there's a weird point to it where it's like his whole identity. Your
It's
wand is your whole identity. Yeah. That's got to be cutting when Voldemort's like, you no longer need yours. Like, what purpose are you going to have?
Well, he betrayed him.
Yeah.
The thing is like now I feel like he's taking everything out on the Malfoys.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
yeah.
I know I'm supposed to kind of feel a little bad for that, but...
Yeah, this is a weird chapter,
like you
too.
chose that side.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
it's crazy because they're not even looking. It's like you're in so much trouble. You're staring at your lap and you don't even want to do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. That's
none of them can make eye contact with him. I know they're all terrified of him. And then he's living in their house, too. It's probably terrifying and creepy.
And then I'm sure Draco is probably like, why didn't I save Dumbledore?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope he has that guilt forever.
I hope he carries it around with him every day.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things. Dumbledore, he offered Draco a chance. He's like, we can put your family into hiding. And then the opportunity passed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Guess you're right.
Keep thinking he's there. Yeah. So I'm like, what is that noise?
Yeah.
And it's sounding like steps coming closer to me. Oh, I'm the first one to go.
The first to
go. My hand would be the first to go.
It feels weird that the teacher wasn't safe. Because, again, it's like... even Dumbledore, well, it's different that Dumbledore's gone now, but Dumbledore was saying, we can protect your family and everything. Yeah. Was Dumbledore really the only one doing that? Isn't McGonagall now in charge of all the teachers? Shouldn't she be protecting everyone?
Yeah,
how is a teacher ending up on a table at the Malfoys? You know what I mean?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Why?
Why?
Why is there a teacher on the, like...
Because they all went home for break.
But even that, then why, though? If like... nobody's safe anymore. Why did all the teachers go to their
I thought the only part that
homes?
Was safe was being at Hogwarts. So if you went home for break...
they kind of kidnapped her on the way.
But they didn't protect their teachers. Like, it just feels strange.
Everyone just stay.
Or maybe because she's a Muggle studies person, she wants to live amongst the Muggles. It's her place.
That would make more sense.
So she was like, I need to go back. That's where my Muggle husband lives.
But it's just so
and
crazy
I gotta,
that
see him again.
okay, just because you're teaching that. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing about her is pretty intense. And I'm wondering if there's more to that.
They
timing
should kill
of her.
themselves, right? They're part muggle. I just can't. And what are they offering the world? Like what? Their existence is doing what? Making everyone pure blood?
Well, that's what Voldemort
whose
keeps saying.
existence?
He's so strange.
Snape and Voldemort.
Like that's his goal, is to get rid of everyone who isn't pure blood. Yeah.
Because it's
It
weird
seems,
too,
yep.
because he's making fun of Bella and Narcissa here
Right.
about Tonks and Lupin getting married. And
yeah,
having,
but
like,
he's
werewolf...
like a snake now.
Exactly.
So like,
yeah, he's a snake, and on top of that, they're both pure blood.
Right. It like feels weird. Like, why is that a bad thing? And he's got Greyback as one of his people, kind of. So then that just feels weird too.
And he's just talking about pruning the branches. That's why it's like a weird little line. He's like, every tree needs to be pruned.
yeah.
Otherwise, a whole tree is at risk. So
And that's
his
where
thing
they
is
all
just-
should turn on Voldemort right there.
Right? Yeah.
They're
They're
like, yeah,
"Let's
we
prune
should
you."
prune.
But they're all still scared of him. So even though you're saying he's weak, I don't think he's weak enough, or he's
The
good
only
at
thing is
bluffing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's powerful, but he's also powerful by the people that he's surrounding
Yeah,
himself.
it's true. Yeah.
in. So if all those people turned on him, you still
Maybe.
think he'd outwin.
Well, they all think he would. You know what I mean? Or because he rules by fear, it's not safe to even whisper anything like
Yeah.
about dissent, because you'd be destroyed.
Yeah,
because
he would
you just
kill
can't
them.
trust anyone.
Yep.
I
But
feel
then,
he
like,
would
how do you
kill
live
them
your life?
instantly.
Like, that's why I'm like, who takes his side when you're like living on edge every day of your life?
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
wonder
like
if that's how they felt at first.
I feel like all of them
'Cause, like-
still feel that.
No, I'm saying like at first I wonder if they weren't on eggshells.
Oh, maybe,
yeah, and it
So
was
then
over
it was
time.
like a promising thing. Now
Yeah.
they're so in deep.
Yeah.
Yep, you can't
Is that
back
right?
out.
Yeah, because they're afraid if they say or breathe wrong, he's just gonna
Yep.
kill them.
Yeah.
So they're afraid for their lives now. But I was wondering, like, I wonder what it was like when they first sided with
Yeah,
him.
I guess that would help me to
You know,
understand.
it was like a
better.
gradual thing, and now it's
I do feel like it's just the most powerful person in the room too, and everyone is just trying to please him in any way.
Yep.
Well, I think this is kind of childish, but I'm thinking of him as like a child.
Yeah,
I
like a
can't-
bully.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. A bully, like
Yeah.
at the lunch table. Who do the kids gravitate to? The bully, because
Yep.
he has established this status about himself that, like, whatever he says,
Yeah.
because like what you guys were just talking about, it's like he's not a pure blood, but he wants pure bloods.
Mhm.
So it's like whatever he says will be, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
100%.
No, you're right.
And you can see the dynamics of all these people trying to please him in different ways. Like Yaxley and Snape competing, and they're like, that's their way of doing it. And then one guy even cracks a joke where he's like, oh, the ministry thinks that we've infiltrated them. And then one guy says, oh, well, they've got one thing right at least. And everyone starts laughing, and Voldemort doesn't laugh. You're like, that guy tried to make Voldemort laugh and wasn't successful. So he's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die after this. He's like, so they're all trying to do things to please him in some way. Even Bella is trying to, he's like, she has the one moment at the end where before he talks about pruning the tree, where Voldemort essentially acknowledges her as being like the most loyal servant that he's had. And she's like flabbergasted. She's like floored. And then he's like, well, what about your cousins? And then she's so embarrassed.
Yep.
And everyone in the room is laughing at it. And it's like the dynamics of this room are so strange to me. And it just had me wondering Jen's question. I just keep thinking of that. Why would anybody want to follow this guy?
Yep.
It is terrifying. It's awful.
And who brought him back? Wormtail?
Yeah. And he's not like even, he's in the room, but he's like watching over this prisoner that they have. Who's the prisoner?
But like he was better out as the rat.
I know, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, go live your life
He
among
misses
the rats.
those days. He's like, I had the life back then. It was a
He
giant
literally
vacation.
ate whatever he wanted. No one bothered him. Like, I just don't
Yeah, he
understand.
was living the dream. And why'd they keep her a prisoner? That
For
doesn't
how
make sense.
long?
Yeah, for how long? And why make such a show of it all? Like, it just doesn't feel like Voldemort. It feels like he kills people without a care because they mean nothing to him.
Yeah.
But this wasn't about that. It's like he wanted to make a point, or like
I don't know if it was for the
something.
Malfoys.
Yeah, like something to like draw that out of people, or see if people shuddered at the thought, or like, I don't know, something about it felt weird. So I assumed they tortured her for information and that she gave up something more. Like, that's why he understands more about the prophecy, maybe, or like
She only knows
something
about muggles.
I guess. But then is there something about muggles that he needs to know, or something else about her specifically? Like, or just information in general about Hogwarts? But I don't know. Something about it feels weird because it feels like he wasn't keeping people around before. So why keep her alive? Like, it feels like he kept Bertha Jorkins around for a little bit to torture her, right? Or ask questions about the we were suspecting the World Cup, maybe.
Yeah.
But that was the only other time. With people like Cedric or whoever else, it feels like it was just instant. Just kill, move on.
I don't think he has a rhyme or reason for
Yeah,
things,
maybe not.
though.
Maybe it just is. It totally doesn't mean anything to him. So he's like, whatever.
Who do you think that their prisoner is? Because Wormtail, it says, at these words, seemingly in response to them, a sudden wail sounded, a terrible, drawn-out cry of misery and pain. Many of those at the table looked downward. So it's noticing that it's downward, not Charity Burbage, which is up. Startled for the sound had seemed to issue from below their feet. Wormtail, said Voldemort, with no change in his quiet, thoughtful tone, without removing his eyes from the revolving body above. Have I not spoken to you about keeping our prisoners quiet?
I missed that. Thought it was the same
I
person.
know, yeah. You think it's the same person, but it's like a subtle little thing.
Downward. Interesting. This feels like
the poem.
that was in the poem.
Yeah, nice, Jen.
Nice.
I know.
Is there a clue in the poem?
Well, I was just thinking, we know that there's stuff below the house because in one of the earlier books, it was referenced as something was hidden beneath the house. But I thought it was the kitchen. But we know they're in the drawing room, and we know that the furniture that was usually in the drawing room isn't there. So what'd they do? Move a table in? Why'd they do it? Is there something under this floor? And if so, what? Who? Something that can wail? Why?
What? Could it be a house elf? Oh no, Dobby is loose, free.
Well, how do we know that? But why? What makes you say house elf?
I have no idea. I was just thinking of a house.
I mean, it's a good thought of a house elf because that's how they
Yeah, because
operate.
they did own
Hogwarts.
Dobby. Do they have
Yeah.
other house elves too? Maybe. But then why? Do they not trust house elves?
I was afraid that one of these female people were gonna be Hermione,
Oh, gotcha.
like a prisoner. I thought maybe
Dark
Trelawney.
gods beneath the
Hermione.
earth.
Awful.
Underground.
Can you imagine her Hermione is underneath?
Well, the thing is, it's like, don't they know like who he's friends with? They always like in all the movies and all the stories, they go after best friends, loved ones, whatever,
Yeah.
to get who they want to come to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fair.
So-
That's why
Do
Harry
you-
broke up with Ginny.
Yeah, that's why Harry broke up with Ginny.
Yeah,
And do
but
you,
like-
maybe this is a weird question, but do you think that they're going to move the Dursleys because of this? Like, not that they, not that they're, but do you think that Harry is going to, like, tell them to run away?
I
At
thought they
all.
were safe there though.
No, Harry is safe there.
Yeah.
But if Harry's gone, are they safe there?
Yeah, which is another interesting thing. Why do they even want to move Harry if he's safe there?
That I don't get.
Well,
But like, what is he
Dumbledore
gonna be?
mentioned this a little bit.
He's gonna be a prisoner in like a safe home, like this.
Yeah,
no,
safe
he's
room.
got to go find Horcruxes.
That's what I'm saying. Like the panic room is like, just stay there because you're safe.
Yeah, right. Like, this isn't the time for safety. This is a time for battle. This is a war. You know
But
what I mean?
Dumbledore did tell him to go back one more time.
Yep. But why? Why
Go
one more
back
time? What's
to the
important about
Dursleys. It's the
keeping it a home
numbers.
for?
It's gonna be 17.
We got a good book rhythm,
Yeah,
Harry.
it could
you know?
be. I mean, it
Start
could
the
be
next
something
book.
with the age. Because will this, when he becomes like a man in the wizarding world, does this protection fade away?
Is that 17?
Yeah.
Right. Or if he was protected for his whole childhood, does that mean something, like getting him all the way there?
Yeah, for sure.
Or do new protections come into place once someone is in adulthood, or once they've done whatever? Or if you spend 7 years with your family, it is another kind of bonding, something. Although that's interesting, because Sirius ran away from home. Maybe that put a curse on him. His life would end prematurely because he didn't stay with his parents until adulthood, or his caretakers. Well, I'm just seeing if there's any credence to the idea of staying with your caretakers to adulthood gives you greater stability or safety or something. Like, again, this ancient magic, muggle magic type of stuff of like, well, his home wasn't stable though, but it was family. It was blood.
So we don't know who their prisoner is, which is crazy. We don't know who their source is, which is crazy. We don't know really why he needs one of their wands, even though we have theories on that. We don't know why the heck anybody follows Voldemort.
Yeah, that is a weird one.
Great.
But there must be promises of power and like more later.
He doesn't say that ever in all these meetings, though.
He doesn't.
He doesn't outright.
There is something that is maybe a really small thing that I picked up on in this read. I'd never picked up on this before. So on your 15th read, maybe
Maybe pick something up.
But I think this chapter is one of the best that, again, I said this before, but showing things through actions rather than like outright saying it. The very fact that when Yaxley and Snape come into the room, Voldemort is saving his right-hand seat for Snape.
Right.
And so like he comes into the room and it's like these positions of power and authority that like the right-hand person is Severus Snape. And then he tells Yaxley to go sit by Dolohov. He's like, everyone has their assigned orders. So being closer to him is maybe being closer to his protection and his power.
But Snape seems more powerful.
Yeah, for sure. There is a point to it. Yeah. And maybe there's going to be a question in this book of, will those two end up dueling and getting in a fight? Is Snape
maybe they kill each other.
No, Harry's got to kill him. Or
you guys in this prophecy.
Yeah, it's true.
I still can't get over Snape tricking me. It bothers me.
That little fiend.
I thought for sure he was like a double agent for the good side.
Yeah. He might have been playing both sides, but it feels like good lost a lot of momentum. And part of that to me is I'm blaming like people like Fudge, who they're just like the general medium, haven't figured out their life people at the Ministry, who like people like Fudge and Umbridge, they're not evil, they're not Death Eaters, but they're doing like bad things. And I feel like that's where evil was winning. Because it's like the normal people just are not being good.
Yeah.
So then Dumbledore is having to fight for every single inch. And so even if Snape hadn't decided fully yet what he was going to do, it felt like then he'd be like, well, good is not going to win here. I'm going to go to the dark side. So even if he was somehow just like playing both sides, I feel like there wasn't enough momentum for good. So even just for self-preservation, he'd be like, all right, dark side, here I come. Good has no shot right now. And then he kind of made his choice.
It's really interesting. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in this chapter.
Yeah.
But final little things here. The whole Charity Burbage thing is just tragic. But this is the one thing that he says. You must prune yours, must you not, to keep it healthy. Cut away those parts that threaten the health of the rest. Yes, my lord, whispered Bellatrix, and her eyes swam with tears of gratitude again. At the first chance, you shall have it, said Voldemort. And in your family, so in the world, we shall cut away the canker that infects us until only those of true blood remain. Again, he's going to cut himself away because he's not of true blood. It's ridiculous. It's
do they actually
crazy.
know he's not pure blood?
Yeah. Harry told them.
Oh, do
they acknowledged?
Do they know?
But like
does
a great
Bellatrix know? Do the Malfoys know?
Harry said it I don't think they believed him.
I don't
though.
think anyone believes him.
Because there was the one scene where Harry says it in the Order of the Phoenix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or in the Ministry of Magic in the book Order of the Phoenix. And Bellatrix is like, shut up, you liar. I think he calls him a liar.
Oh,
in that
yeah.
instant.
It like made her so mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh my gosh. Imagine if Harry could just prove that and then turn
right?
all of the Death Eaters on him.
Like show them the memory that he saw. But that's one of Voldemort's
best kept secret.
Yeah. Best kept secrets and his it sounds weird, but maybe his best and then worst attribute are how well he is at keeping secrets. No one knows anything about his life.
But is that why Snape and him got along? Because Snape can read anyone's mind.
And no one knows anything about Snape.
Oh, that's also true.
Yep.
So they're the same.
Yeah.
They're both alone and friendless.
They're both trying to read each other's minds, and they're both trying to like block each other out of each other's minds. It's
they have
weird.
no friends.
I know.
No lovers.
Yeah.
They just.
Well, we don't know about that.
Maybe they have lovers. Maybe they're each other's lovers.
Yeah, they could be.
Oh boy, they went from brothers to
Brothers to lovers.
Brothers to lovers.
A snake and a greasy ball.
Ew.
It works.
Oh my gosh, I
He
miss this
is
so
a
much.
snake. I mean, I guess that's fitting.
And then this is the last little thing for this too. Because for those of you who do not know, we are joined here tonight by Charity Burbage, who until recently taught at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And he has this whole little line. Then he says, "Nobody laughed this time. There was no mistaking the anger and contempt in Voldemort's voice. For the third time, Charity Burbage revolved to face Snape. Tears were pouring from her eyes into her hair. Snape looked back at her, quite impassive, as she turned slowly away from him again. Avada Kedavra." Oh, that is just an evil scene.
But also, like, let's say Snape wanted to save her. How could he do that in front of everyone?
Yeah, he couldn't.
Why would he want to save her?
I'm just saying.
Oh, like just like hey, he happened to be friends with her, or like just a teacher didn't believe Voldemort's motives for killing her specifically.
Yeah, like
he could just be like, no, yeah, there's nothing he could do at this point. Yeah, but he looked so cold. It feels like he didn't even hesitate. Wasn't he like staring at her when it all happened?
It almost.
I thought he did it.
Yeah,
I thought he did too. Like if I was just reading this, but Jim Dale made it so Voldemort did it. But I was like, as I'm reading this, I was like, wait, did he do it? She is begging Snape.
Do you also kind of think that Snape might have been the one that brought her there?
That's gross.
I know.
I don't think so because of how she's begging Snape. It's like she thinks he's her last chance.
But wouldn't you want to beg your captor?
I don't think
maybe.
that means that.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
Like this is the guy that brought you into here. He's the only one that can really get you out.
It would make sense. I mean, well, but he already left Hogwarts.
Yeah.
I'm curious also, it said she was a teacher until recently, meaning until recently when we kidnapped her, or did she actually quit and leave Hogwarts as a teacher?
Yeah.
And that departure made her vulnerable to attack because she wasn't under a certain protection of being employed at Hogwarts. But she did write a big old article. Maybe she took a job at the Daily Prophet or something.
She's writing an op-ed right here.
I don't know. They're both crazy.
Yeah, it's all weird. I don't know. You don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Lots of question marks hanging over things.
It's a good way to start the book.
I know. It's a good way, right? Good chapter. Good first chapter. I don't know if we're going to have a favorite character or a hot tamale this chapter. But, or a favorite moment, to be completely honest. But do you have any of those three things?
What if we did the opposite of those?
Yeah. I like that.
The
Who's your
coldest
least
tamale?
That's our rotten tamale.
No,
rotten
rotten.
tamale.
I like that better.
Rotten.
Who's the rotten tamale?
Snape.
Who is the house loser? And then what's your least favorite moment? That's a great. I love that, Jen. That's great.
We're in the upside down right now.
Yeah, no. Well, Snape, rotten tamale.
He's the rotten tamale?
Yeah. and he's
I was gonna say
also
he's the biggest
worst.
loser. Wait, what's the thing?
Wait, yeah.
The
House.
opposite of
The
Tamale.
house loser. The whatever.
Who's the most hideous character with the
Snape.
rotten tamale?
Yeah. And then it was the loser of the house,
Yeah.
Wormtail.
He seems like rotten tamale energy to me.
Yeah.
Because he's a nothing. He wasn't even really a character. He just came in for his little like, I'm the prison guard guy, you know, like
He's just like,
it just felt so slimy and ugh.
Yeah.
I know. I keep picturing like a little
Like
rat.
yeah, like a kind of rat
coming.
face.
Yeah.
Just like he just bothers me. Ugh.
Yeah, he is gross.
Oh, it also just occurred to me that the same guy plays a chipmunk in Enchanted. Like I keep
Oh my gosh,
picturing him
that's right.
in Enchanted,
No
but I
way.
never made the connection that he also transforms in that movie. Right? Doesn't he do something funky?
Yeah.
That's
I
like-
know the chipmunk was a different
It's been
character.
pigeonholed
Maybe I'm
as that.
confusing it, but I'm just
Oh,
like
he gives the. Doesn't he? Give
he
the
just
apples?
interacts with the chipmunk a lot,
Yeah,
right?
he
Is that what
does
I'm
have
thinking
a
of?
rodent type
Oh,
face,
okay,
though,
yeah.
that guy. Sorry.
Anyways,
It's
really
probably
does.
just
No
for the TV.
but yeah, he's a rotten tamale.
Yeah, he's a good rotten tamale.
And I think the coldness of Snape, just reading that line of Snape looked back at her quite impassive, like he doesn't even care. And even Voldemort, same thing. At least the way Jim Dale interpreted it. It's like he wasn't saying this with conviction or like anger. It was just kind of like a casual killing curse because it meant nothing. It didn't even matter.
Yeah.
And that's like so lame.
It's so lame.
He is the house loser.
I feel like no one exists except Harry, though. Like everyone's like kill, 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 but like once they get to Harry, they already killed Dumbledore. So after that, it's like, all right, Harry's next, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone could be like an in passing kill.
It is wild.
And the worst moment, right?
Yeah. Worst moment in this chapter. There's a lot of worst moments in
This
these
whole
chapters.
chapter
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
worst
Goodness.
moment.
For whatever reason, I think the moments of tension between Voldemort and the Malfoys, because I was feeling bad for them.
Yeah.
And I was like just
Surprised
conflicted in my
that
own
you were
thoughts because
feeling bad.
I hate them in most cases. But all of a sudden I'm like, I think they're my least hated in the room. You know what I mean? Other than Charity, of course. But
Yeah.
like, I just felt bad for them. Like it felt like if they could do things over, they would have. It felt like they were genuinely regretting what got them here. And they were being manipulated by Voldemort more than anything else. So that felt pretty bad.
Yeah. People in chat too are saying that the hot tamale, there is a hot tamale, and it's Bellatrix because of the little energy that they share together.
That's some energy, all right. Oof.
There's something going
It's
on.
weird.
between
Oh,
the
that's
two.
why
She's
you're
like
saying
all
no
emotional and
lover?
Yeah.
tearful every time she gets a smile from Voldemort. I'm like, this is a lot.
It's pathetic, but it's also like it's like pretty sick that she needs his approval for
Yep.
everything. And he is so impassive, he doesn't care.
Yep. Bellatrix gives me love potion vibes. Like Voldemort's doing more than just the average stuff to try and like win her over. But everyone else, I'm confused by. But her, it feels like something more. Like he did some kind of dark something spell potion.
Was it just
What? Or she's just crazy.
I think she's pretty maniacal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you can only do so much to someone's personality, I guess. But yeah, it feels like at her core, she's pretty dark
or a
already.
one night stand?
This is not a one night stand here.
No, I'm saying like that's for him, yes. For her, no.
Oh yeah.
She's clinging on
Yep.
as much
She's
as
a
she
5 stage.
She's a stage
Right? Is that right? Stage 5. I said
Stage
it
5 quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so
I'm like,
good.
yeah, that sounds right. No, I'm half asleep. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, what is it you and Abby said in the beginning of the book where there were no hot tamales? The young Harrison Ford hot tamale. I feel like this is one of those. I'm like, there's no hot tamale here.
There's no hot tamale.
Just
there's
a bunch of rotten.
There's a bunch of rotten ones. Everyone is rotten. Every
Yep.
person at this table is a rotten tamale. And then everyone is my least favorite character. And then every moment is my least favorite
Yep.
moment in this chapter. It's just like a
The
disgusting,
chapter
but
is
such an interesting chapter. I really do hate the the Charity Burbage murder. But then again, the Malfoy situation is so weird because in like a weird aspect, you feel pity for them, but you hate them still. So you feel so sad that Draco
Yep.
is probably like 17, barely hit 17, and is watching not one of his teachers, but a teacher at Hogwarts that he knew get murdered.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he saw Dumbledore get murdered too.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it was probably a little bit more impactful.
That's why
sure.
I think he is shook.
Yeah,
he's
gonna be a shell of himself.
Yep.
Like, how does he deal with this
trauma?
trauma?
I don't think he realized the extent of
Agreed.
it. Like, he just wanted to get back at Harry, and now he's like, "What have I done?"
Like, he just didn't realize the impact. I'm giving him probably too much credit, but like, it felt like he was trying to join the cool kids gang because his dad was a part of it and whatever. And he just never even realized. Yeah. And based on this, it feels like even his parents never realized the real extent of it.
Yeah.
But that's not fair.
But I think it's because they thought they'd always be in good faith with him.
Yeah, good standing.
For sure.
And they didn't think they'd be on the bad side of it all. Yeah. But during his first rise to power, they must have been involved enough. Like, they're still evil.
Yeah, but they might not have done anything bad.
But I don't know how, but maybe you're right.
I meant like bad in like Voldemort's eyes. No.
Like so they were in his good standings that whole time. Yeah. Yep.
And then now he's messed up big time, like a couple times.
Yep. Well, that's what you get.
And they punished
a little bit
them with taking his son.
At least he's out of Azkaban.
I feel like he'd want to stay there.
Yeah, that's like almost safer at this point.
It's like a safer spot for him, for real.
Ooh. So I guess weird. Azkaban maybe is no more, or maybe Voldemort just rescued
his
Lucius.
People?
But there are no Dementors to guard it, so.
Do Dementors even? No.
They're off wreaking havoc somewhere, I'm sure.
But this whole thing is weird. We'll see how we keep going through Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Thanks for joining us on our journey of Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. We're back.
We could be excited about being back, but oof, this is a rough start.
Oh, rough one.
And deathly indeed.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Do you guys have anything else to add? I forgot.
Don't ask him that. Well, he didn't take notes though. So.
We have to do our intro.
Oh my goodness, we were so excited that we forgot.